Hi, and welcome to Transcend to Triumph. Today, my guest is A.G. Billig, and she is fantastic. Let me tell you, I've had some long conversations with her, but she is the founder of Self-Publishing Mastery, the award-winning blog and author education center she started in 2015 after a trip to London Book Fair. She's a bestseller author in both fiction and nonfiction, coaches authors on story clarity, author branding, and book sales. She also, writing fiction since she was 8, signed her first publishing contract in 2012. Earlier career, 10 years in PR and branding, TV, radio host, producer, editor-in-chief of Life magazines. Self-Publishing Mastery was named Best Educational Center in Santa Ana, California in 22 before she moved to Arizona. Topic is going to be author growth framework, build your brand, grow your audience, promote your book. Her stated mission is books are not only published, but also found, read, and remembered. She also founded Books That Matter, a nonfiction authors and author-centered publishing speaks widely. Allie's Self-Publishing Summit, the Book Fest, GLAWS, Phoenix Writers Club, Scottsdale Society of Women Writers, Author Learning Center. She is amazing. I met her, was in Scottsdale, wasn't it?
We met, first of all, thank you for this wonderful introduction, Kathleen. It means a lot to me coming from someone as accomplished as you are. And we actually met a year ago at the event that happened in Arizona. Payson, yeah.
Yes.
Payson. Yeah.
You know that's closed now. Yeah.
And then Tucson Festival of Books this year, I was there, you were there, so
that's how we hooked up again.
Yes.
And you guys are in for a treat October 3rd for anyone who's coming. I have got a list of questions for AG, and they are going to be very interesting. AG, I'd like you to answer a question for me that is kind of a fill in the blank. Finish the sentence. Most writers think your topic about publishing and that is all about what? But it really is about what?
Wow, that's such a good one. Thank you, Kathleen. I would say most authors think about publishing is just putting their book up on Amazon, uploading the files, and then that's it. But actually, this is so much more than that. It's about, I would say it's about building connections with people, with readers, but also with peers in your industry. So building those connections, that's very, very important. And also it's about mindset, believing in what you're bringing into the world and believing that there are people out there who are looking for what you have to offer. Mindset is very important. And it's also about being passionate. Don't do this just because you see that horrible ad on YouTube with that woman that says, oh, I just uploaded a file to Amazon and now I'm making tens of thousands of dollars, which is which is not true. It is very misleading. But from my experience working with authors and my own experience as an author, and I know Kathleen, she puts a lot of heart and soul into everything she's doing, and that's why she makes an impact. She's successful. Do it because you're passionate. not because you see something and you think, oh, I can make some money on the side. That's not about it. I want you to make money, because the more money you make, that means that you touch people's lives. That's an indicator that what you're bringing into the world really matters. So I want you to make money, but you're going to make that money when what you're doing comes from your heart.
Oh, I believe that. I absolutely believe that. You can't promote something you don't believe in.
Right.
You
can, but it will feel fake. People won't buy it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, this is a tomato, so you need to buy it when it's actually a pencil. Doesn't work.
No.
Okay. No. What do you think is the mistake you watch writers make over and over in your corner of business?
The number one mistake people make is to bring a book into the world without having built the excitement, the buzz, and the audience. And it doesn't have to be a large audience, but you have to have a group of people, 50, 100, maybe 200 people who already trust you, who already know what you stand for. Speaking about your brand, and I know Kathleen has a question about that, but people who are excited to read your book. And I see that, and waiting until the last moment, so having the manuscript ready, maybe having the cover ready, being ready to put those files up on Amazon, and then, oh, and now what? What do I do now? Where I would say, wait. Don't do it yet, just yet. Build that buzz and anticipation, and then do it. So this is definitely one of the things that I see, especially with beginner first-time authors. With nonfiction authors, because I know we will have both at our event. That applies both to fiction and nonfiction, but with nonfiction, it's not being really clear about what is the problem that you're solving, what are you bringing to the table for it? What's the value? Not getting that message clear, and again, not really building that anticipation and the buzz, and not setting up your book in a way that's going to make easy for readers after they read the book, if they love the book, to find you, to subscribe to your newsletter, to leave a review. All those things are so important when you build a career as an author.
I couldn't agree more. And it's so hard as a new author to understand the timing. And even as an experienced author, because sometimes you get the cart before the horse.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're saying the book is going to be out. Well, it isn't out. And then what do you do? How do you backtrack and cover those things? But I know you're going to cover those things.
Yes. Yeah. And I have one more thing to add here, which is also very important. Not having this author brand, which is actually your identity, what makes you unique in the market, especially nowadays. It's so easy. Mm-hmm. Everybody can upload files to Amazon. So what makes you unique? What makes you stand out? What makes you that kind of author that specific reader who is your ideal reader will connect to? Because they will connect with your manuscript, they will connect with your characters if you write fiction. They will also connect with you as a person. So what is that identity that you're sharing with your readers? Because that is like building a house. That's the foundation for your whole house. So when you have that identity really clear, what you stand for, what's the experience that you're going to give to your readers by reading the book, and by all the content that you're going to create around your book, then that will make it so easy to plan your marketing activities and your messaging and what you're going to talk about in your interviews and in your blog posts and on your social media. So that's something that I think it's so underrated. So right now, and if people would pay more attention to this aspect, their job would be so much easier regarding promotion and publicity.
I think that also with branding, like I have I believe one brand here, but I'm also developing another brand here because a different type of genre.
Yeah.
So, because I do anthologies, I do romance with heat, with science fiction. You always know that because it's got a man on the front. Sexy
right.
man.
Right.
Over here, if it's a couple, it's not quite the same as this.
Yeah.
So separating those things out and making sure that that is identified with individually.
Yes.
What is something you believed when you started out in business that has completely changed your mind? You've completely changed your mind about since you've started business.
Oh, wow. That's a tough question, I have to say, because I haven't really thought about it. What made me start Self-Publishing Mastery back in 2015 when I was at the London Book Fair was identifying a need and a trend. I realized that even all publishers, the big publishers and the small publisher, they would want to take more authors than they are already doing. That would be impossible. So I realized that self-publishing is going to be here to stay. And I like the idea of being in charge of your own path and making your own decisions. And it was very inspiring to be able to use, you mentioned my previous expertise in PR and marketing and media, to take all that expertise and use it to promote books and see how it's going to work. So it started also with a passion for books and for what I was doing, and this is still happening right now. One thing that I didn't think it would happen back then was that at some point artificial intelligence would start to compete with humans and would actually be used by people to create books, and those books would be available and some people would even buy it and they would even like it. So I didn't thought back then that a machine could replace human creativity. And although this seems to be the case, I don't think long term this will actually happen. I did an interview the other day with Eric Miller from the Phoenix Writers Club, and we are talking about AI. And in my opinion, our human creativity and soul and heart, they give us something that AI cannot replicate. I doubt it will ever be able to replicate. So the message was the video organic tomato on a shelf that's filled with plastic, with fake stuff. So you'll be like the organic tomato that's juicy, that's tasty, that doesn't taste like plastic or nothing. So this is one thing that I haven't saw coming back then. I haven't seen coming back then. But now it is here, and we need to be aware that it's here, and we need to adapt to what this is doing in terms of how people are searching for things, and also how it's shaping the language, how it's shaping the way people consume content. So we need to be aware of this and adapt our marketing strategies. And
I believe that it's here to stay. It will get better, but it is something that can use you or you can use it.
Right.
And there is a way to harness it and use it creativity. But because I work with some of it, and I've had it say, wow, that was so awesome what you just wrote. And it's like, okay. So it tells you right there that it doesn't think outside the box in certain ways. No. It know, it knows how to understand when emotion is tapped, but it doesn't necessarily know how to tap the emotion.
No. And the language, I find the language to be...
Yeah, you have,
awful.
No.
Yeah, it's awful. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. Don't use AI to write your book because it's going to destroy you. Destroy it. No. No.
Yeah. There is a line that you have to draw. I totally agree with that. Now, if somebody watches your session and does exactly one thing that week, what should it be?
Well, I would need to know where they are in their career, because that's another thing that sets me apart from other consultants and other businesses, is that I don't believe in one size fits all. So every client I work with, I take a deep look at what they are doing, where they are, and we go from there. So you'd have to give me a scenario, and then I can give you...
Okay, take for example, if I'm going to give you two scenarios.
All right.
One is a brand new person who is wanting to write and is in the learning how to write, has been starting to go to writers group for 2 years, and they've entered contests for short stories, but they're writing something that they feel is so important, but at the same time, they're so behind the power curve as far as learning is concerned. They haven't had the opportunity. When somebody says, well, you don't want to have adverbs, use as minimal amount of adverbs as possible in your writing. They accept the understanding of it, but it was a new thought. You don't put a 2 spaces after a period when you type it out. That's a total new concept and hard for them to adapt. So that's one.
Okay, can I answer this one first, and then I can... All right. For me, one of the best ways to learn how to write was to read, and to read good literature. There's a lot of literature out there. If you want to learn how to write, it's like, subconscious mind is absorbing everything that you're reading. So read good literature in your genre, because you can read everything anyways, but I would suggest reading the best writers in your genre. So read as much as you can and let it sink into your subconscious mind. Also, another thing that I see authors do all the time is just writing, and then after they finish writing their first draft, they start thinking, what's the next step for me? So it's never too early to start thinking about what are your goals with your book, because if your goal is to just write something for your family, you want to leave a legacy, you want to leave that story for your family, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, friends, your community, something for them to have once you transition to another life plane, then you're going to choose a certain path, versus if you decide, no, I want to become a full-time author. So it's really important to think early on, where do you want your career your writing to take you, and then also decide who is your ideal reader, where do you sit in the market, and start to get yourself familiar with what's happening in the market. Another important thing to keep in mind is that even if your writing is not perfect, it is what actually jumps off the page and helps you to connect with the reader is your authenticity. So you may not have the most polished style, but if you're authentic, if you're real, if you are a good storyteller, you can create those scenes that where people read the book and they feel like they are right there. Then you can hire an editor, someone who can polish up the manuscript. So this is not the fact that you're just starting out. It doesn't mean that you have to wait until you are perfect to continue or to release your book. This is why there are professionals out there, like editors, the proofreaders, who can help you to get the manuscript into that ready for publishing shape before you publish it. So don't worry, there are people who can help you. So I would say keep writing, and also start with discipline. Set aside half an hour, 1 hour a day, and some people say write 500 words or 2,000, but maybe one day is better than you have just the words flowing. Another day is more difficult. You don't have the same amount of connection with your muse. So be disciplined and get things done. So write and read. Those are the two things that I would recommend for them to do: write and read.
The second scenario would be somebody who has been writing for, say, 5 or 6 years, has a few books out, but is not getting any reviews. People say they love it when they read it, but they don't write anything. They don't give those words. How do you help somebody like that with publicity and with getting it known when you keep running into walls?
I just had that's an interesting question. Thank you. I just had a situation recently where an author came to me because he has a book series, and he launched this book series a while ago, over 5 years ago, and he's not getting any traction. And the thing is that the more a book sits on, is there on Amazon and it's not selling, the deeper it sinks into that oblivion pit. So it's important to do something every month to keep sales steady. You don't have spikes. But when I looked at his books, I realized that they weren't professionally formatted. The formatting wasn't good. And also, there was no way for the readers to, in the back matter, there was no call to action for the reader to leave a review. There were no links to a potential newsletter. So all that back matter was wasted with nothing for the reader to hang on to be able to reach the author, to build that connection. So what I did was to work on the formatting, but also create a back matter that would entice the reader to leave a review and connect to the author, keep that connection going after they read the book. So if someone is in that situation where they're not getting reviews, it's worth looking at the back matter and fixing that. I would also, if they have an email list, reach out, create a piece of content like an article, and reach out to the existing subscribers and re-engage with them and remind them that reviews help sell books and help readers who would love the book find it. So any review is important. And run a promo campaign, maybe discount the book 99 cents, get new sales after you make sure that the back matter is fixed. So people, your new readers when they go to the end of the book, they see all those call to actions, and they feel like, oh, actually, I would need to leave a review.
How important is keywords?
Keywords, we were talking about AI. Keywords used to be like extremely important before, but now with AI, so many people are using ChatGPT, or even they are using Rufus, which is Amazon AI, to ask for book recommendations. So at this point, the book description is way more important than it used to be. It was always important, but now you need to be really careful in the way you write your book description to make it interesting for your ideal reader and what they are looking for in your genre. But I would say keywords are still important when it comes to ads, because if you're running Amazon ads, when you're running an ad, the algorithm is going to look at your book description, at your book categories, and also at those 7 keywords that you, I hope, filled out when you were uploading the files. Because if those keywords are not done properly, the ads are not going to perform. They are going to underperform, especially if you're not going to do manual targeting with the ads. Let's say you're green and you say, okay, I don't know how to pick words for the ads, so I'm just going to let Amazon pick the keywords. Amazon is actually going to look at the keywords of your book. And if those are not right, or you don't have them, your ads are not going to work. You're not going to lose money, because Amazon only charges you when somebody clicks on the ad. But if your ad is shown and nobody clicks on it, they're going to stop showing your ads. Even if you were willing to pay like $1,000 they still wouldn't show your ad, because they would consider that your ad is not relevant to the customer. So keywords still matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned going to the London Book Fair, and that was what influenced you to change. What was it there that you saw? What incident happened that made you decide to go into this?
First of all, I recommend going to the London Book Fair once in your lifetime, to everyone who's watching now, and to you, Kathleen, because it's open to it used to be for traditional publishing. Now, because self-publishing is getting traction, now they added a track for self-publishing. But there is so much to learn, and it is so inspiring to go there and see, to be able to connect with publishers and with professionals and see all those books and attend. They have included in the prize, admission prize, you have access to panels, free panels, conversations. I got to meet Brian May from Queen just by being there. So it's he's such a humble, such an amazing person. So go there. If you want to take a trip to London, it's usually in April. Go there, you can buy a ticket and you can go and explore the fair for 3 days. There's a lot to see. But what made me start Self-Publishing Mastery was a panel. And on that panel was Mark Dawson. He's one of the pioneers in self-publishing, together with Joanna Penn. I used to listen to Joanna Penn's podcast even before I went to the London Book Fair. And he was there sitting on a panel and saying, I made $500,000 with my ebooks last year, and I'm independently published. He told a story where he had a traditional publisher, and that publisher didn't do anything to market his books. So the books didn't sell, so they dumped him. And then he got his rights back, and he started doing his own marketing, and he was like, okay, I made $500,000. So that sounded promising. And then there was CJ Lyons. She's an American, and I think she's a nurse. day job was nurse, but she was writing books as well, and she was very excited, and she was saying, now I can create my own media empire because I have YouTube and I have social media. And she was also very successful. And I was like, wow, there is so much opportunity, not only in terms of money, making money, but also in terms of being creative. Because all that creativity that we pour into our books, we can also use for our marketing and for connecting with readers. And we don't have to be on Good Morning America necessarily. If we are good with what we are doing, we can be on YouTube and be seen by millions and millions of people. So those stories inspire me to start self-publishing mastery, which
I can understand that.
Yeah, which now is more like publishing mastery, because another thing is that you don't have to do this alone. Every author who is successful at the end of the day, they have some kind of help. Maybe there is someone in the family, so someone has someone in their family who helps a little bit with social media, or they hire people who can help. It's impossible to do everything that a traditional publisher would do as a one person. So if you're trying to do it all and learn it all, it's going to be extremely hard. And
it is hard.
Yeah.
Because I've gone that route.
Yeah.
It's very challenging. But I met a gentleman this year, and he's self-published, and he's just hit 2 million in royalties.
Wow. So
yeah,
it is possible.
Exactly. Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
But he's also taken time to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's worked his craft to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to be willing. I believe that writing is like self-actualization. You never really reach that pinnacle, because you're always going to the next one and the next one and the next one.
Yeah.
You signed a traditional publishing contract in 2012 and then built a career teaching self-publishing. What did the traditional side teach you that self-publishing authors usually don't know?
That contract happened at the London Book Fair as well. I was still in Romania, because I'm Romanian by birth. And so if anyone tells you that, you cannot do this, this is not possible, don't believe them. So I went to the London Book Fair, and I stopped at the publisher's booth, and I gave them my manuscript. It's a short story collection and a bio. And like the next day they called me and they said, well, we are actually looking for women's fiction and short stories, being at the right place, right time, and we'd like to give you a deal. And to me, it was like, wow, this is fantastic. It was a small publisher, and they promised that they would do marketing, they would hire a PR company from LA, and that never happened. And of course, the book flopped because I didn't know much about book marketing back then. So what I've learned is that having a traditional publisher behind you doesn't guarantee sales, doesn't guarantee promotion, doesn't absolve you of doing your own marketing for your book. On the other hand, I just heard about that first-time author who supposedly got a 6-7 figure deal for a book, which then turned out to be AI. So the deal went south, and that doesn't mean that if you're a first-time author, you can get a big deal. It depends from person to person,
and it depends upon the book.
Yeah, it depends upon the book as well. So
I mean, when you think about Harry Potter,
yeah,
it was genre specific, and age group specific.
Yeah.
And it just, it's, you know, it's like Lord of the Rings, but Lord of the Rings was popular when it was sold, but it was even more popular later when they made it into a movie. So yeah, you never know.
What I want to say is that for those of you who are watching now and you're thinking traditional publishing, don't think that if you're a first-time author, you can get a big deal, because you can. Just as Kathleen said, if your book is really something that is extraordinary and it's very authentic, and it's something that they are think that is going to appeal to the market right now. So when a traditional publisher is going to spend that kind of money on your book, which by the way, then they will take it out from your royalties, so you won't see more money until they cover that advance they gave you. Of course, they are going to do marketing, and of course, they're going to do book tours and put you everywhere. But a smaller press, a small publisher, they are not going to invest so much in your book marketing. So you're going to have to do it. So what I've learned, though, from my experience in the media with magazines, is that publishing is, and it should be, a teamwork, that it has many moving parts, and that it is best done when there is a core of maybe 2 or 3 people who can take care of all the aspects rather than one person.
Yes.
And that it takes time. You also need to have a very clear market positioning, so that you know where you sit in the market, because your book is a product, so it needs to be presented and placed the right way, so that your ideal reader can find it. And you also need to know who is that person, so that you can talk to them, so that you can talk to them in a way that's going to create a connection between them, and show them that you're going to give them an experience they're going to love and like. And the last thing I want to say, it's a fine line between meeting their expectations in a way that, they're going to realize that, this is the genre I like, and I'm going to be satisfied with the tropes and things that I expect from the genre, but also being authentic and unique enough to give them something different. So
it's a balance.
Yeah, it's a balance. Yeah.
If someone finishes their manuscript tomorrow, walk me through the first 3 decisions they have to make.
I love this one. That's a really good one. I will go back to what I said earlier, because this applies here. So the first decision that you need to make is to look in the future and decide what are your goals for your book. For example, are you going to create a book just for your family and friends, or your goal is to become a full-time author and make $2 million like that gentleman? And other authors, there are authors, not so many compared to the vast amount of books now available on Amazon, but there are authors who are there right now. Or if you write nonfiction, do you want to start a business as a coach? So you'd have to ask yourself, what are my goals with the book? Because these goals will inform your second decision. And the second decision is, what publishing path is the best for you? If you don't want to learn anything about marketing and selling and those things, and if you don't want to hire someone, so if you don't want to do this kind of work, then maybe traditional publishing, where all these aspects are handled for you, is the best route. Or you can work with a hybrid publisher where you're going to invest your money. You're going to pay actually to be published, and they're going to take a portion of your royalties as well. Or maybe you just want to self-publish your book and have it up there under your own name with your own ISBN. So you get to decide which one of these paths is best for you, because based on each path, you're going to have to take different actions. For example, if you're going to go the traditional route, then you're going to have to learn or to hire someone to write query letters and look for agents, and then the agent is going to look for a publisher for you. Once you have this nailed down, the third decision I recommend you to make is to decide on a publication timeline. Because if you don't have a timeline, if you don't have a deadline, then you're just going to procrastinate and postpone and not take action. By creating a clear timeline, you are going to make things happen. And also decide on a budget to support your journey, especially if you're going to self-publish. You're definitely going to need to invest time and money into this journey. If you're going to, let's say, go traditional route, again, you might need to invest money into going to writers' conferences where you can actually pitch your work to literary agent. Or maybe you don't want to learn how to write a query letter, or you want to make sure that your query letter is fine. So you will hire someone to write that query letter for you. So what is your budget? How much time and how much money would you like to spend? So goals, publishing path, and number 3, timeline and budget.
Good answers. Really good answers. What does self-publishing generally cost in 2026? Do you have any real numbers for that?
I made some notes here, and I can speak from my own experience because based on my services, but also overall costs of services. Self-publishing can be free, but if it's going to be free, it's not going to be the quality that you need to break through and to sell your books. So I assume you watching this video means that you want to sell books, meaning that you want to find the readers for your books. So I'm going to give you some numbers from, like the lowest to the kind of highest and still within reason. One of the most important investments that you can make as an author, and nowadays, even if you want to go the traditional publishing route, you still need to present a manuscript that's kind of ready for publishing. That means that you cannot just submit your manuscript to an agent like your first draft. It needs to be edited. So editing is one of the most important investments and necessary investments that you can make in your career as an author. And editing, there are different types of editing. I don't want to go into those nitty-gritty right now, but it can vary between $1,500 and $3,000. So this is something that these are some numbers for editing. The cover, there are many options available there. You can go to Fiverr. I mean, you can get a cover for $5, but realistically in 2026, a good quality cover that's not that's custom made for you, so nobody else has the same cover, can vary between $600 and $1,200. Formatting, that's something that if you want to learn how to do it yourself and use Word, that can be $0. If you want to hire someone who can format the book for you, it can be $500. I remember years ago, a lady, she was charging $1,200 just for formatting. So
Oh
again,
my gosh.
yeah. And again, it depends, if the book has pictures, if it has tables, if it has footnotes. So again, it depends on the complexity of the manuscript. I imagine I haven't done children's books so far, but a children's book with pictures, that's something that's more complicated and complex, I would say, than just a novel where you have chapters. Yeah. So formatting the price, it depends on the complexity of the book and the genre, and also the trim size. So there are different things that can weigh in there. ISBN number, you don't have to pay for ISBN numbers because both Ingram Spark and Amazon give you free ISBN numbers. But if you don't want to duplicate your book, so I would recommend buying an ISBN number for your paperback or hardcover. So an ISBN number is currently $125. And I think those would be like the big costs. And for marketing, I would budget between $300 and maybe $1,000. So overall, the minimum would be around $2,500, and you could go all the way up to $6,000. So it depends on what your budget and what you'd like, how much you would like to spend, and the quality that you would like to have in your book. Because I know that there are people who are overcharging for services a lot, but I also see ads on Amazon that promise, we are going to do the interior file for you and the cover and the keywords for $400 and editing. I don't go for that because it's a lot of work. All those things, editing, cover, formatting, keywords, all of that for $400. That's no. I don't know what you're going to get for $400. It's a lot of work. And $400 is not a reasonable price for that scope of services.
I would doubt the quality.
Yeah.
I would doubt the quality. Because I do formatting and I know what I charge.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, especially if someone is really going to put their heart and soul into the manuscript and look carefully at every page and make sure there's sometimes a single word is hanging at the top
no
of
widows.
the page. And
widows and orphans.
And you need to move it, and maybe you need to do a little bit of editing on the text to make that word fit in there. So it's not easy.
No, it isn't. And I've done some with figures inside, nonfiction, where it's tables and stuff like that. And that is an absolute nightmare to get through. So,
So I would budget, maybe, you could budget around $3,000, I would say, minimum to have some of these things covered: the editing, decent cover, interior file, and the market positioning is important, like putting your book in the right categories, the right keywords, the book, all those things. So,
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you. Where do writers waste the most money when they self-publish?
I have a list here as well. I would say, although that might not seem like a waste of money, but I would say time is also money. So trying different things and spending a lot of time online trying to figure out things, and then trying things that don't work, and then also publishing your book on Amazon and everywhere else without a proper book description, without a proper market positioning, with a poor quality cover, that's a waste of money. Especially, and I see that a lot people paying for an editor, and that's usually the most expensive part of the publishing process, I would say, in the very beginning. So they spend like thousands on an editor, and then the cover is horrible, the book description is bad, they have no keywords, and the book categories are all wrong, so the market positioning is wrong, and then they upload the files on Amazon and nothing happens. So that's a waste of money. Just paying for the editor and then doing everything else in a way that's not professional, I would say that's a waste of money. If you're going to pay for an editor, but you're not going to take the same amount of interest, that's not the right word, but you're not going to be professional about the other, so the editor, I would say, is just under the water, because that's the quality of the manuscript, and the tip of the iceberg is what people are going to see. If the tip of the iceberg is going to be all lopsided and flat, or it's not going to look good, you're going to waste all those thousands that you spent on an editor. So when you budget for the tip of the iceberg, what people are going to see, your market positioning, and the editor. So this would be one thing. There are expensive publishing packages that authors don't really need. I mean, if someone is promising you a website, that's going to be a terrible website most of the time, because to build a good quality website, that's not cheap either. So
no, it isn't.
If they just bundle there with a bunch of other things, you're not going to get and also, do you have access to the website? Can you update it as you wish? So that's also important. Or they give you a few bookmarks. You can make bookmarks yourself. You can use Canva. So you don't need to pay $8,000 to get bookmarks and a website and a press release. So there are some very expensive packages out there that are going to, and the metadata is not properly taken care of. So this is one thing. Press releases, some people sell press releases nowadays. I'm not saying that you should ignore them, but I wouldn't pay money for them. Excessive print inventory, especially when you work with a hybrid publisher, you're not going to be able to buy your books straight from Amazon at print cost. So they might make you buy like a number of books. And one thing that I don't think people really think about are the book awards. There are so many book awards. Oh my God, so many book awards, and every book award is charging $75, $35, $65. And at the end of the day, if you're not going to do the math, all those numbers add up. So if you're going to do book awards, look for book awards that are really meaningful. There's typically book awards where you can pay to play. They are going to give an award to everyone. And on Self-Publishing Mastery, I have an article where I did some research to find book awards that really move the needle, and that the industry recognizes, and that really matter. I mean, Pulitzer. You cannot pay an entry fee and be considered for Pulitzer. I'm not saying Pulitzer necessarily, but there are other book awards where
you buy it, basically.
Yeah.
Because I know we have a writers contest. And we only give 3 awards, first, second, and third. Now we're giving stickers, digital, so that they can put it on other books that they won an award. They don't pay much to enter. They really earn it, because I have tough judges.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Those book awards where you're entering, do they have a list of judges? Who are those people who are judging? the
Well,
award?
with right now, I'm
I'm
not
not talking
listing
about
it.
you. I'm
Yeah,
talking about,
yeah.
like in general.
I
Yeah.
know, and it's the it's just so interesting, and I get somebody says it's $75 to enter, and I'm like, and I get nothing back if I don't win. $75. Now, $20 I can understand.
Yeah.
$25 I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
But anything more than that,
It's a business model for some people. Oh, okay. How can I make some money? Oh, let's come up with some book awards, and you can enter any book. It doesn't matter if you published it 10 years ago. You can just enter it now, and we are going to recognize this, and we are going to, reader's favorite is one of the, and you have to pay. But reader's favorite is an established company. Not every book who is submitted gets an award, and I think that's a legit model. It's been around for years and years, but there are many others where, oh, I won an award. And at the end of the day, I think if your book is not a Pulitzer Prize or something, like some kind of, I don't think the readers really care. Readers care about a book that's going to make them feel something or teach them something, or maybe a book that's a movie. Right now, there are, like maybe a Prime series. There was Off Campus, which was based on a romance novel, and I was looking on Prime, and I saw that TV series was #1 for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then the book sales soared. So beware of book awards, among other things. Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. Author branding makes a lot of writers uneasy. What does it mean if you strip out the marketing language?
That's a great question. Thank you, Kathleen. So, in a nutshell, author branding, the term, answers these 3 questions. What do I write about? What do I want readers to associate with me? And why should someone who likes one of my books look for another? And it's nice to have a logo, certain fonts for your author name, or the title on the cover, especially if you have a book series, and then keep that consistent on your website, for example, or on the visuals that you're going to use on social media. But it's also so much more than that. It's actually what you're standing for, is the experience that you're giving to your readers. And it's actually something that's a recognizable pattern in your work, but also in how you show up for your reader. So you could think like your book is the product, your name is the identifier, your body of work creates the pattern, and then the pattern is the brand. So basically, your readers know what to expect when they see your name. And when they see your name, they immediately know, oh, this is going to be a book that's going to make me feel this or that, or this is a book that's going to teach me something that I want to learn, or nonfiction, or this is a book that's going to help me solve a specific problem. So it's a combination between it's an intersection between your writing, your personality, and also your genre, and those 3 things meet, and then you have like a circle that's the middle, and that's actually the brand.
That's cool. I like that. I like the way you put that together. Thank you. What has changed in self-publishing in the last 2 years that authors haven't caught up with yet?
That's another interesting question, and a lot has changed. And things are changing all the time. That's another thing that you need to keep an eye on and be aware when you are your own publisher. Amazon is changing all the time, social media is changing all the time, and one way to stay aware is to listen to podcasts. The Creative Pen is one of my favorite podcasts. Brian Cohen has a good podcast. Penny Sansavieri from San Diego, she has an interesting podcast. We post articles on self-publishing mastery all the time with updates about what's changing in the industry. So you need to monitor that. Jane Friedman has an interesting newsletter that I would recommend you sign up for. But to answer your question, like very specifically, what's changing is, first, in 2026 is no longer just about producing a book. It's about getting attention for a human book, because as I said earlier, nowadays there are people out there using AI to write books. So the competition is even fiercer than it used to be. And how do you stand out in all this sea of books? Before, if you had a professionally produced book, that was one thing that could help you stand out. But nowadays, this is no longer enough. So this is the baseline: professional cover, professional interior file, really clear about your market positioning, and also a really good book description. So to nowadays, the differentiator increasingly becomes your voice, your originality, your credibility, and your relationship with your readers. You need to build an audience. You need to build an ecosystem. And I had a book launch with Lori Led. She's a spiritual teacher with hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Those hundreds of thousands weren't necessarily what moved the needle. It was her core audience, which was comprised of a few thousand people. And we were able to leverage that audience who trusted her to have a 5-figure book launch a few years ago. And now she's going to release another book. Number 2 is AI as something that you don't necessarily need to avoid. It's something that you'd rather need to manage, right? And not use it to write your books, but use it to maybe improve your workflow, help you organize your day better, use it for research, right? You don't have to, let's say your book is set in Iceland. You don't need to go to Iceland, although it would be nice. You can just use AI to do the research and to show you, to give you images, to pull up images of Iceland, where let's say you are setting, you want to have your character go to a certain cafe. So you can find that information. So that's something that you can do. Be mindful of that. Another thing is audiobooks. Audiobooks are gaining more and more traction.
Yes.
They used to be something like a nice add-on, and I think we are getting to a point where they are no longer optional. I think it's a good idea to include an audiobook to your marketing plan. You don't have to release the ebook and the paperback and the audiobook all 3 at once, but at some point you would want to do that. And there are options to go about that. It used to be pretty expensive, but you can work with a narrator if you're going to use ACX, and to minimize the costs, or maybe use AI for that. So that's another thing to consider. And the last point I'd like to make, because I could go on and we don't have the whole day, right, for this. The publishing business is moving more from a book launch to an author ecosystem. So it is no longer just about, oh, I need to have a great book launch. It's about creating an ecosystem, like a world for your readers where they can connect with you, where they can connect with each other, where they can talk about your book, where they can forge relationships, and just keep this expand and expand and expand. It's no longer enough just to do marketing when your book is launching. You have to do it consistently every single week. Keep that momentum going, keep those sales going. So these are a few things that,
and it's a lot of work.
yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. To do it just you, it's almost impossible. So remember, there is always help out there, and there are different companies, different people offering different services at different price points. You will find someone or a company that will work for you in terms of a good fit financially and personality wise. You want to work with people who are there for you, who understand you, who care about you, and who are going to be not just a service provider, but also your cheerleader, because that helps.
Yes, it does. It really does. Your session has three legs: build your brand, grow your audience, promote your book, in that order. Why does the brand come before the promotion?
That's an easy one. Thank you. The brand comes before the promotion because promotion gets people to notice the book, but the brand, meaning your personality, what you stand for, the experience you're offering the reader, this is what actually gives the readers a reason to remember you as an author. So it's about building trust, that trust first, building that credibility. And this is what your author brand does for you before you start asking for their money. Because if you start with promotion before you know what you want to be known for, you can spend a lot of money creating short-time attention without building anything lasting. And for any author who is watching now and who is here because they want to build a career, you need to think long-term, not short-term. So when you build your brand first, you clarify who you are as an author, what you stand for, what you write about, and who you want to reach. And this is going to make it way easier for you to tailor your messaging and your outreach in a way that speaks to your reader. And when you do that, then your audience has a reason to connect with you beyond a single book. And once you have that foundation, your promotion becomes much more effective because you're not just promoting a title, you're actually building recognition for the author behind it. So be intentional. Brand creates recognition, audience creates relationships, and promotion turns relationships into book sales.
Okay. You say your mission is books that are not only published, but found, read, and remembered. Where do most authors' books fall down in that chain?
I think most books fall down in that being discovered and being seen.
Yeah.
That's where most authors stumble, and for various reasons, because they don't know how to tackle that particular part of the publishing process, because they wait, because they don't have a clear goal, they don't have a plan, they don't have a timeline, they don't have a budget, for various reasons. And because there is a lot of competition, and because some of them they give up too soon. you need to have patience, and you need to do things every I wouldn't say every single week, but every single day. But you have to consistently put yourself out there to get those sales going. And once you get those sales going, Amazon will start to push your book organically. If they see that the clients, the customers love what you're doing.
What are you hoping people will walk away from October 3rd, the webinar, with, not just from your session, but from the whole day?
I'm looking forward for October 3rd, first and foremost. It's going to be an amazing day, I promise you. And it's not that I hope, I know, because I know who the other speakers are, and I know you, Kathleen, that you will walk away with clarity, you will walk away with confidence, and you will walk away with a realistic plan for what comes next. Publishing can feel overwhelming because there are so many decisions to be made, and there are so many actions to be taken, and there is so much conflicting advice out there. But you will leave the summit understanding that you don't have to do everything yourself, and you don't have to spend a fortune, and you don't have to figure it out all at once. And what I wish for everyone who will attend the summit is to live with the mindset that the book is not just a project that they need to finish. A book is actually a legacy that you're creating, not just for the people who know you, your family, your friends, but for the whole world. It's also an asset that can help you build a career, a platform, or a body of work around. And last but not least, I hope and I wish that you will walk away knowing what your next step is going to be and feeling ready to take it.
Awesome. That's my hope too. Was there anything I should have asked and didn't?
You came up with some amazing and spot-on questions. Thank you, Kathleen. These questions are a good point of reflection for everyone listening, not just my answers. So in themselves, they offer a roadmap for everyone listening right now or watching that they can follow to get from wishful thinking to actual results and steps taken forward. So,
well, thank you. That means a lot coming from you. It really does. Because I'm a great admirer of your work and how you work.
Thank you.
You're what I call a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. You are honest, you're straightforward, there's nothing hidden. This is how, this is way. We can modify, we can shape, we can do, but we can accomplish. And that's you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has just been wonderful having AG here with me today. Now remember, you can sign up on the 15th. You'll hear more about that from her, I'm sure, and from me. Under her last name, just Billig is her passcode, and you get 10% off to come to the webinar. And we will talk to you later. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.